Hello, my name is Nicola Paolucci. I am a developer instigator at Atlassian, where I share my enthusiasm for new technologies, new ecosystems, new platforms. And today I want to tell you about the Docker machine and even show it to you. And before I start, let me tell you what Docker machine is. So if you've been reading a little bit, or if you've been trying and using Docker, you know that recent Docker is evolving from just a way to package and distribute your application to a set of tools to actually orchestrate and link and connect and assemble applications made up of multiple components that reside and run inside containers. One of the pieces of this new ecosystem is being developed right now, and it's called Docker Machine. So what Docker Machine is? Docker Machine is a tool, command line tool, that allows you to create Docker-ready hosts, and you can create them on your local hypervisors. If you use VirtualBox, you can create a virtual machine with Docker running in it. If you have accounts on some cloud providers, and there's many drivers being created right now, you can actually have Docker deployed and installed and ready to go on them just using this new tool. And so what you see here on the screen is, for example, how do you create a VirtualBox virtual machine locally. But I want to show you how easy it is to set up a virtual machine on a cloud provider and get going and deploying your container, your application there. So we use the Stash official Docker image for this. So if you guys are ready, the first thing, so in this case, I'm going to use DigitalOcean, which is one of these cloud providers that can be managed through an API. And if you just generate a new token, you will be able to use Docker Machine to deploy your Dockerware and Docker-ready virtual hosts. So once you have an account on DigitalOcean and you generate a personal access token, you can follow along this demo. So this is what I did before we started. All right, let's get going. Let's see what I have for you today. So once you have installed Docker Machine, you can create, you can list all your machines that you have configured and installed by typing ls. And you can create a new one with the create command. In this case, I want to use a driver, which is the DigitalOcean driver. So I just type create -d DigitalOcean. Then I need to obviously specify that because I want to run Java JVM application. Maybe I want more than the base memory of that DigitalOcean would provide me. So I want a box that actually has 2 gigs of RAM. Then I need to paste my token so that Docker Machine can authorize me with the DigitalOcean. And then I just give it the name. So in this case, I'm going to give it the name pre-production, for example, just to emulate how I would have a local machine where I deploy my tests in the virtual image locally, and then have something on a cloud provider where I deploy my pre-production environment. And as you can see, Docker Machine is provisioning virtual machine that has Docker installed. It will install the latest version of Docker on it, and it will authenticate myself using my own token on this specific cloud provider. And after a bit, I'll have an environment ready to go. Now, if I type Docker Machine ls, you see that now I have 2 Docker machines. One is a local machine deployed to VirtualBox, and one is on DigitalOcean. And the one that's active and running, it's the second one, the pre-production one. Now, if I want to point my Docker command to that instance, I need to set up some environment variables. So if I type Docker Machine and the pre-production, I will get the environment variables that I need to source, so that then I can use my Docker command on that instance. So if I source those variables, now I am actually typing Docker commands on DigitalOcean. And this is where the power of Docker machine comes. Because for me, I'm just working and typing commands on my local shell, but I'm deploying applications right now on a cloud provider, exactly as I would if I would do it locally. So let's see how we can deploy our Git Enterprise Server Stash on this machine I've just provisioned. Well, first, I want to make sure that our official Atlassian Stash image is downloaded, and I need to make sure that the data folder is owned by the user daemon. Now, this process, depending on your connection, can be slow or fast. I might skip a few bytes so that you see this very speedy. All right, so I am pulling the official Stash image from the Docker registry. And now if I type Docker images, you'll see that on my DigitalOcean account, on a newly provisioned box, I have pulled the official Atlassian Stash image. And now, if I want to start it up, I just type a run command where I specify that I want to share one specific volume. That is the volume where Stash will save its data. And I need to make sure to open a couple of ports that are used by Stash itself. And if I type this command, now I can go. So let me run the command now. I just want to make sure that I was switched to the right machine. Now I can tail the logs of this specific image and make sure and check that the application is started correctly, there are no errors, and once it's up and running, we can test it together. So it should take a few seconds. All right, the Catalina server is now up and running. It took 15 seconds. Let's switch to a browser and check. Well, obviously I want to know which IP address this is running, right? So I can ask Docker machine this. So just Docker machine, ls. Okay, I get an IP address there. I know that I opened port 7990. So if I switch to a browser, let's see. So before I was running it locally on a VirtualBox instance, that's why you see localhost there. And now I tried actually with a real internet-facing IP address. And as you can see, Stash is booting up, setting itself up. So this Git server is actually an official Docker image that's on the Docker registry. We pulled it. So we provisioned a machine with Docker in it, and we pulled an official image to it, all from my command line, very simply. I think the power of this paradigm is incredible. You can deploy to your local machine or to any cloud provider with exactly the same commands. This is a fantastic new development for DevOps and cloud deployments. So wait for Atlassian Stash to start up. I just want to show you how easy it is to set up a new server using Docker machine. And so now I need to set up, let's set up a temporary internal database. I need to generate, obviously, an evaluation license. It's a step that, let me skip this one, do it very quickly. And there you go. Now we're up and running. We just need to configure an admin user. Using a temporary test email for it. And well, for now, I will skip the Jira integration. And there you go. We have deployed an instance of Stash using Docker machine in just a few minutes. So fantastic. All right. Our Stash instance is up and running. That was very easy. Now, after this, you can see that now we have an image running using Docker PS. If you want to stop this instance, we can just copy the ID and stop it. And if you want to actually tear down this DigitalOcean machine we have provisioned, we can just remove it very easily. So now I just show you that I stopped it, and so now it's down. And I want to show you that how easy it is to remove it if I want to. So I can just type Docker machine rm pre-production, and the entire environment will be deprovisioned, uncommissioned, and I won't be billed for it anymore. So it's as you can see now, it's not there in my list of machines set up anymore. I can set back my local development VirtualBox instance as the active one again, and this ends my demo. So this was just a quick video to show you how powerful this model is of having a Docker machine that knows how to provision your boxes with Docker and deploy Docker on any cloud provider, and there's many supported already. You have to know that right now, at this point, Docker machine is at version 0.1.0, release candidate 3, so it's early days, but it's still quite usable and very, yeah, I think the paradigm it brings about is really, really incredible for rethinking the way we deploy applications to the cloud. So if you enjoyed this, send me a tweet or comment on the blog post where this appears. And thank you very much for listening, and speak to you soon.